Hey, hey. I forgot to mention this story last week. I was so busy. We had a lot of like early call times, so anyways, I didn't end up making a lot of videos. But it was a fun thing happened. I finished a job early, and I was in Toronto, and I went to see a friend of mine that's going to be taking off. So I wanted to hang out, and we had just like a good chat. And he's got a kid too, and his wife and his kids are gone. Um, they just like, well, anyways, long story. They left before he did to travel, and he's going to join them after. Um, and so we got to kind of like chat more than we normally do because there's nobody in between, and we got into chatting about life and like, um, you know, kind of like perspective on things and how your perspective matters so much and how your positivity matters, right? And it was kind of a cool thing. Like, um, I always talk about that, like just your perspective and changing your perspective and forcing yourself out of like certain situations sometimes just helps. Um, and what happened was we're on like such good vibe. We're talking about like, oh yeah, good vibes. Just gotta like keep positive. Like things can always be better, but you can also like look at like what are the good things that are happening at the moment. And I came out to go home after like such a great convo, uh, and my car was smashed. Nothing crazy major, but like still enough to like piss you off because you're like, what the hell? Somebody like smashed my car while it was parked. Um, like scraped the whole side of the bumper, but they luckily left a note, so that was already like okay, cool. Um, and my first thought was to kind of get into a bad, be like, oh fuck, holy shit, and like just go down a bad hole. And I wanted to even call my friend because I was right by his house and be like, hey, you won't believe what happened, but I didn't because I was like, you know what, he's like in a good place right now. Um, he's just gonna try to console me, but then he was also, it's just gonna kind of add a bad vibe to things. So I was like, let's just keep the good vibe going, and I kept it going, and just drove home. Was like, okay, I'm just gonna do what needs to be done. I called the person, and I got like their number and everything, their contact, and then um, you know, uh, talked to a mechanic, and all on my way home, and all I'm thinking is like, oh, I gotta tell Amy, she's gonna be annoyed too. And I call her, instead of like starting with that, I was like, how's your day? What's going on? And she's like, oh, I had the best day ever. And I was like, oh, awesome. So it was like good vibes for her too. And I was like, well, you won't, guess what happened? And I told her, and said, but I'm trying to stay positive about it. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that sucks. But like, yeah, okay, what can you do? And it was just like such a better way of going about things. And like, it was such a nice, it's kind of silly because it's like, yeah, that's an easy thing to do, but it's also very easy to just go into those frustrated feelings and like just let that stew, and then like the next thing you notice the guy that like cuts you off, and you notice like the person staring at you weird, and like it's just like a domino effect. Whereas like this, I was like, the next thing I noticed was all like good stuff, um, which was awesome. So, anyways, moral of the story is like, keep it positive. Obviously, like I was frustrated. I let myself feel those things, and I'm not gonna ignore it. But it was also like not necessary to be like stewing in anger. You know, um, yeah. That was my story that I forgot to tell earlier. Um, Otherwise, I'm like, we're we got fall around the corner. It's still nice out, like beautiful summer weather. Officially the last day of summer today, and I just want to keep the vibes going. So whether there's snow on the ground or not, or there's clouds in the sky or not, um, yeah, keep it going. See ya. Bye.